Hello, everybody. Welcome to the side panel, or AJ side panel, or whatever you want to call it. I am your lovely and talented and bodacious host, AJ. And this episode, I will be reviewing Longshot as well as Avengers Endgame. That's right. You would think that I would give you an entire episode dedicated to Avengers Endgame alone, but since this is a spoiler free show, I can't really do that. So I'm going to have to give you what you're going to get. Ha ha. So let's start off with the first movie, shall we? The first movie that I will be reviewing is Long Shot, which is a movie and a movie. Yes, that's right. I stutter step and make mistakes. I am, after all, occasionally human. Now, Long Shot is a movie about the Secretary of State who is deciding to go ahead and run for office with the president. And in doing so, she decides to pep up her game and help out her self image by hiring a writer to write her speeches for her. Something that is, pretty common. Except in this case, the writer just happens to be a crazy editorial man child, I want to say, in the form of Seth Rogen, who, as it turns out, was friends with the Secretary of State way back in high school. Now, that's just basically the gist of the trailers that you've all seen, so I'm not really giving much away. Now, having said that, I will say this. I got to see a sneak peek of this film this past week, and I'm not really a big Seth Rogen fan. He is the same person in every single movie that he's ever in, and it never changes. Loud, obnoxious, stoned, just self-serving and just out. I don't know, obnoxious. I've already said that, I'm sure, but I'll say it again because he's obnoxious. We all know it. We've all seen his movies. Somehow, yet we're all drawn to them one way or another. I'm not a big fan, like I said. I've seen most of his stuff. I can probably name a couple of my favorites of his in one hand, but this film, uh, yeah, what can I say? He is Seth Rogen again in this film, except with the recent writing schedule that he has been taking between Preacher and The Boys adaptations, as well as a few other comic book adaptations that he's been making on the big screen. It feels like in this film he kind of took a step back from being himself, or maybe he's just learned to not be as Seth Rogen as he could be. Don't get me wrong, he's still Seth Rogen, but it's brought down to about a good 80%, maybe 70%, instead of the full 100% Seth Rogen that you could be exposed to. Luckily enough, there's Charlize Theron in the role as Secretary of State, and she kind of muddles the waters of Seth Rogen, and brings him down to more of a bearable state. I found myself unusually liking this movie, laughing out loud at a few places, and just enjoying the ride while I was going through it. There are a couple of Seth Rogen spots in it where you're just seeing things that you really never, ever, 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 ever wanted to see at all, ever, you know. But again, Charlize Theron being there, kind of bringing them back, showing them how to act, what acting's like, and it allows him to tone down and just allows you to enjoy the film. Uh, Great performance by O'Shea Jackson, just coming off of his big run with uh, God, what is that movie? Godzilla. Yes, he's going to be starring in Godzilla coming out. So seeing him in this film was kind of cool, but also kind of a trip because he kind of put on a little weight, kind of got a little chunky, kind of like his dad's earlier years, where he was a little more heavy set than he was when he became a full movie star and thinned up a bit or bulked up. So O'Shea Jackson was a great sidekick, comic relief in this film to the not so annoying and bothersome Seth Rogen film. I feel like I've spent most of this time bashing him. He's just fine. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that like his style of humor, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just after a while for me, it gets a little tedious and annoying and one noted. So um, I praise him for bringing a lot of the comic films that I love to life. Preacher, I thought he did a great job with it. I'm excited to see the boys. So awesome, good job to him. And he does a good job in this film, along as well as Shuri's Throne. If you get a chance, the movie comes out next week, I believe. And if you haven't seen Avengers Endgame yet, or you have, and are recovering from the Game of Thrones episodes, then and looking for some comedy, then go check out this movie. It'd be a nice breath of fresh air from everything that we've been watching slowly end in this year of geek finales. And moving on to Avengers Endgame. Now, what I mean by geek finales is that this year, 2019, is seeing the end of a lot of film franchises and TV franchises that we have grown to love and care for. The first of which is Avengers. The MCEU film series will be ending next month. Is it next month or July? Whenever Spider-Man Far From Home comes out, will mark the end of Phase 3 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And so, beginning with the film after that, will be a whole new range of characters and actors that we're not used to seeing. So that'll be kind of awesome. Avengers Endgame is kind of the penultimate solution to that. Whereas, well, I can't really say that. It is a finale for a lot of things and a lot of people. No, take that back. It is a finale for a lot of storylines that come to be wrapped up. Along with Avengers and the Marvel Cinematic Universe is also Game of Thrones, which will be ending this season, and Star Wars. The Rise of the Skywalkers is the finale of the saga of Star Wars that we've all grown up with. So it is the end of geekdom this year, or a year of ending geekdoms. So that's a sad thing. But Avengers Endgame, wow, 3 hours and 2 minutes of just really good storytelling. I mean, so Avengers Endgame is the sequel to Avengers Infinity War, which came out last year. Infinity War saw a lot of our favorite heroes and people that we liked just disappear with the snap of a finger from Thanos, having won and defeated all his enemies, gained the Infinity Stones and his Infinity Glove, snapping his fingers and watching his 50% of the population pass away or disappear. Endgame picks up pretty much exactly where that leaves off, with our heroes struggling to adapt to a life without their loved ones close by and trying to figure out what their next move is. Now, again, I'm not going to go into too much spoilers here, and I'm not going to give too much away. What you've seen in the trailers, I will be addressing somewhat as far as storylines go. If you've seen all the trailers, you know that they're all trying to get their stuff together and figure out ways to go after Thanos and get all their loved ones back. And so this movie takes a 3 hour and 2 minute journey into how that is coming, how that's going to happen. I'll just say that the first 2.5 hours of the movie, maybe 2:45, is probably some of the most depressing stuff you've ever seen Marvel put out. It's just all about recovery and the road to recovery and rebuilding. And then the last half hour of the movie, the last fourth of the movie, is the fulfillment of everything you've ever wanted to see on screen as a Marvel geek. Yeah, I think I can say that without giving too much away. Woo. I thought the Russo brothers did an amazing job with this film, with the tying together everything, handling all the different, not only characters, but egos that must have been on the set too. Making sure everybody got their due time and their due highlight in front of the camera. made sure their stories were told, as well as their characters, I don't know, fleshed out and brought more sentience to their characters. Um, I've seen it twice now, and the first time I loved it, and I saw it the second time just to make sure it wasn't just because of the ooh and awe factor. You know, I wanted to really watch it and really tear it apart and be able to see anything that I may have missed out on or may have glossed over because I was covered in the ignorance that is the beauty of this film. And luckily enough, there's maybe one or two things that really stick out that bothered me, but I'm sure will be explained away in due time. Other than that, I found no flaw in this movie. Um, well, I mean, no big time flaw. It is beautiful. It is deep and enriching, and I love the storyline. Man, it takes you like through this emotional roller coaster that you just weren't expecting to ride on, and they do a great job with it too. I mean, my hats off to everybody. The acting was on top. The effects were great. The writing was great. The action was great. Everything. I loved it. It is now tied for number one. For me, the Marvel movies, number one has always been Winter Soldier. This one is now tied with that. I'm sure upon a few more viewings, it might even surpass it. That's how good I think this is. A couple of things I will address. One, it is not 100% necessary for you to have seen Captain Marvel before seeing this movie. If you've seen the trailers from Captain Marvel, that's pretty much all you need to know before walking into this. I won't tell you why. I'll just tell you that it's not necessary to have seen it. Two, while there is no end credit sequence, being that this is the finale, um, do stay till the end and keep your ears open because that is almost as important as anything you would have seen visually. And that's it. Those are the only things I'm going to tell you about the film. Go see it. It's breaking records all over the place. If you haven't seen it, then go. If you have seen it, go again. If you're looking for someone to go see it with, call me up. I've seen it twice by myself. I'll go see it with friends. I want to geek out. Let's do this. So, having said all that, May is coming up, and there's a lot of great movies coming out, and I intend on reviewing as many of them as I possibly can. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in this week. Make sure you hit up all the social media stuff. Make sure you go and check out Kickstarter and look up Life of a Whitfield or The Plagued Kickstarter. It is going on this month. It ends on the 13th, trying to raise money to print a book, The Plagued, put out by Forbidden Panel, written and created by Daniel Whitfield, and with art done by Daniel as well as Camille Alaris. Go check it out. Kickstarter, Life of a Whitfield, The Plagued. Find it, support it, love it. All the social media networks, I'm out there floating. Buy me a tea on Ko-Fi. I could always use a nice iced tea. Other than that, we'll catch you guys on the next episode. Thanks for tuning in. Avengers Endgame, Game of Thrones, Star Wars, all living here in my heart. Till next time.